What are some other ideas that churches can take when it comes to stewarding, especially when people feel strapped in this present moment?
Yeah. I mean, so there's these fundamental foundational things when it comes to banking, diversifying your risk, making sure that you're in accounts that are yielding some sort of return and interest payment back, especially in inflationary environments. Other things that you may want to think about really is to continue to grow. So, for example, one thing that becomes really insecure for a church is when you're so insular and when you're so fearful that everything is about saving, everything is about fortifying, everything is about risk mitigating, that you keep you start to lose your eye off the prize, which is people.
That's good.
If you continue to invest in people, if you continue to help disciple people, grow people, if you continue to be a church that welcomes people that are not yet at your church, but they can find a place to belong in community, to find ultimately Jesus, encounter the gospel of grace, but then grow and found their family in the family of faith, then all of a sudden you are seeing a community that is flourishing, growing. Through growth comes finances. Yeah. Through growth comes resources. Through growth, you cannot save your way to growth. To grow, right, you have to invest. To grow, you have to work. To grow, you have to toil the soil. To grow, you have to minister to people. To grow, you have to outreach.
Right.
To grow, you have to be in high schools and colleges. To grow, you have to be partnering with your local community centers. To grow, you need to be raising up leaders. To grow, you need to be educating the next generation. Yeah. To grow, you need Royal Kids. That's what we call our kids ministry. You need Box Gen. That's what we call our youth ministry here at my church. To grow, you need to be investing in the next generation. To grow, you need to be doing marriage and parenting seminars. To grow, you need to be helping people. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And so when it becomes about self-preservation, you lost the purpose.
Right.
Of the church. And I think more than not diversifying your finances perfectly, the bigger detriment to churches is being so scared and locked up about what's happening in the world that you start to lose your eye off the prize, which is people.
I just keep thinking about the parable of the single talent.
Yeah.
And how that actually yielded nothing.
Yeah.
The stagnation, and then that ended up, what's the through line of a church that remains stagnant? Well, it's not going to survive. And things
That's
like
right.
this.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because just like marriage, finances is one of the number one reasons a church fails.
Man.
And that's why we started this podcast. We started a podcast centered around finances, about fundraising, about technology, about innovation. We want to move the church forward. We want to move these local communities forward. Why? Because is your preaching going to be the thing that shuts down your church? Probably not. Is your worship going to be the thing that shuts down your church? Probably not. These things that sometimes we over-index on are actually not the things that shuts down campuses, that shuts down churches. The inability to receive the right amount of resources for your community is one of the singular top reasons for a church to shut down. If you can't pay the bills, if you can't keep the lights on.
Man, that's great.